Emile, when you were in New York as a young man, or even before that in the Virgin Islands, were you aware of the sport of boxing?
Yes, I was aware of the sport. When I was small, I heard about Sugar Ray Robinson. I heard about Joe Louis, and I always said to myself, "How can this man hit this guy so hard, knock him down, and get up and knock him out?" Then, when I got into the game, I know how it felt and what he was talking about.
Emile, tell me a little bit about your career.
Well, let's see. I was at one time. I came from the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas Virgin Islands, and I wanted to play baseball, but I couldn't get to play baseball, so I decided to be a boxer. And I enjoy boxing. I was working for this gentleman named Howard, and he liked the way how it was built, and he entered me into the Golden Glove, and I went along with the gag. I thought it was a gag anyway. I went along with it, and it wasn't a gag after that. It was serious business. Then I met Mr. Clancy, and he started to train me. I enjoyed the training. I enjoyed the discipline, and I did my best. But I still went along with the gag. Still think it's a gag. Then when Howard said to me, "I'm going to enter the Golden Glove February, let me see, February. I was supposed to enter the Golden Glove in '57. I entered the Golden Glove. I lost in the finals. Then I said, well, I have to try it again. And he said, okay. So we tried again. So '58, I won, went back to the Golden Glove, and I won in the finals. After that, I turned professional. After I turned professional, that was just as bad as the Golden Glove. But it was more better because I had time to rest and do the craziness. And I enjoyed that too.
In 1998, I had the good fortune to interview Emile Griffith, former welterweight and middleweight champion of the world. My interest in boxing coincided with the rise of Emile Griffith. And over the next 20 years, I followed his career very closely. I feel fortunate to have seen him. He won titles in both the middleweight and welterweight divisions, defeating some of the best fighters of his era. He barred no one, fought everybody. I mean, you look at his name, the list of opponents in his record, and it reads like a Hall of Fame roster. You know, nowadays we look at fighters cherry-picking opponents and different promoters not allowing their fighter to fight the other champion in some alphabet group. That wasn't the case during Emile's time. The best fought the best, and he epitomized that. And so every fan who came up watching Emile, and that's the baby boomer generation, my generation, feels fortunate that we were able to see that as it happened.
You turned professional in 1958.
Yes.
And as you progressed in your career, starting from a beginner and then gaining experience, what did you learn about boxing, about the sport itself, as you gained experience?
Well, I gained experience. I learned how to protect myself in the ring, how to defend myself in the ring, and out of the ring also.
Could you describe your style as it was at that time?
Let me see, I think I was a boxer. A lot of people say I was a boxer puncher, but I think I was a boxer.
And what was your most important punch or your most important strategy? Was it footwork, a jab?
My jab was the most important punch to me. Use the left hand all the time, keep the man off guard. Serve the opponent before you could throw the right hand. Show him the left all the time until you get tired of seeing that you hit him with the right one.
How many fights did you have altogether throughout your entire career?
I was 125 fights, 20 years
20 years as a professional.
as a professional.
And who was your toughest opponent during those 20 years as a pro?
Oh, let me see. Oh, gosh, a guy by the name of Hurricane Carlo. Oh, that was some night.
What happened in that fight?
To go back and remember it, oh, I hate to do it, but I got to tell you. Well, I think it was in the third round. He put my lights out. But it was a good fight until the third round.
So would you say he was the hardest puncher you ever fought?
No, I fought a guy named Florentino Fernandez also. And I fought a guy by the name of Dick Tiger also. Those three guys are the toughest guys I so far in my career I fought.
What was the toughest individual fight you ever had as a pro? Who gave you the toughest fight?
Oh, that's a good question. Toughest fight. I would say Dick Tiger
What made it tough?
because he was there every time, punching on me all the time. Plus, I used to spar with him in the gym every day, getting him in condition for a fight. And I was also getting in condition for a fight, and that's why it was the toughest fight.
And in that fight, you won the middleweight championship of the world, correct?
Yes, I did.
And would you say that was your best performance ever, or is there one fight in particular that stands out that you would say, I think I was at my best in this particular fight?
Oh, gosh, let me see. No, well, I wouldn't say that was my best fight. I think my best fight was when I was fighting for the welterweight title.
Louis Rodriguez?
Huh?
Gaspar Ortega?
Now you know who the guy is. May he rest in peace.
Oh, Benny Paret?
Yes, he was a wonderful fighter. And while I was fighting him, he had me thinking all the time. That's something I've never really did that much in the ring. A fighter made me think so much.
Why did he make you think so much? What was his style that made you think so much?
His style, he had a good style. But he was always in my face. He was up in my face all the time. Every time I looked to do something, if I didn't do it, I get hit. If I do it wrong, I get hit.
Mm-hmm. And did you fight one particular opponent that was you consider the smartest or the trickiest?
Yeah, he was very tricky. He reminded me a little bit of Luis Rodriguez.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of Rodriguez, who was one of the many champions and great fighters that you yourself fought, he seemed to be able to beat everybody except you. He always had trouble against you. Why is that? Why did you seem to have Louis Rodriguez's number? What was it about him that you seemed to be able to win all the time, except for once?
I don't know. Like I just said, I was on him all the time.
You once told me that you said he couldn't fight his fight against you. He wasn't able to fight his fight against you.
Because I won't let him fight his fight against me.
How did you do that? Did you stay close
I
to him?
just kept him busy and stay close and punch all the time.
I see. Okay.
If I let him get off first on me, I'm in trouble.
You also fought another great fighter named Jose Napoles.
Oh yes.
Okay.
That was a good fight.
Now in that particular fight, okay, Napoles decisioned you.
Yes.
Right. Explain why you were not able to defeat Jose Napoles.
Not that I wasn't able to defeat Jose. I just one of those nights we get, I guess.
Who would have won in a fight between Jose Napoles and Louis Rodriguez?
I think I would say Louis Rodriguez.
Why? What do you think?
Because of the way how Louis move his hands. He have fast hands. Not because I defeat him. Sometimes you get your how can I say it? Sometimes you're in that motion, in that drive, you're ready to go, you want to. That night you feel you could beat the world. And maybe that's your night. And another night you feel you could beat the world and you can't do it.
You also fought another fighter whose reputation is very strong, named Carlos Monzon.
Well, I thought I won the fight just because he was over in, I think in his hometown, he won the fight.
Did you take him lightly?
No, I never take none of my opponents lightly. When I go in there, I know it's either him or me.
And then in the rematch, it went to a decision in his hometown, and most people thought you won. What did you do differently in the second fight against Monzon that you didn't do in the first fight?
Well, I kept him busy. And I was punching more, throwing more punches than I was doing than I did in the first fight.
Do you think Monzon was a great fighter?
Yes, I think he was a great fighter. I cannot say he wasn't a great fighter because he beat me. They say he beat me, so he beat me.
But how does he compare to some of the fighters you fought in your prime?
I compare him with a lot of these fighters as a very good fighter. He can punch, he can box, and he hits very hard too.
How do you think he would do against Dick Tiger?
Well, I think that anybody's a little shorter than him, really, he will have the advantage of him because he have the reach and he's more tall and everything else. But Tiger would hold his own.
Do you think he would have beaten Joey Archer?
Yeah, that's about a good fight there with him. Both of them fight about the same. I don't think he would have beat Joey.
You don't think he would have beaten
No.
Joey? How about Louis Rodriguez?
Oh, Louis is my pal too. He's just as crazy. It's been a good fight.
Another of your opponents was Ralph Dupas. And you indicated to me at one time that you enjoyed fighting Dupas. You had a good time fighting him.
Yes, I did. I remember that fight very well. Whenever I fighting someone, and like I fight them before, and they fight me for the second time or the third time, I try to enjoy myself while I'm doing it. And when I enjoy myself while I'm doing it, the fight seems to be easier for me and better for me.
If you could fight, looking back at your career, if you could fight one opponent again and in using a different strategy, or is there a certain opponent that you think you would have fought differently or would like another shot at?
Oh, let me see. I would like Ruben Hurricane Carter.
You want another shot at him?
Yes. Why? He caught me off guard, everything else, and he knocked me out, and the referee said he knocked me out. I said, okay, that's it.
Do you have any regrets about your career?
No regrets at all. I think every time I go in the ring, feeling a little cocky, and the guy knocked me out or knocked me down or beat me, and I go back home, I come back home, and I train very hard, and I try to correct my mistake I make in there, and I do correct them, and that when I fight the other guy, he don't do it to me. I do it to him.
What would you say is the most important aspect of boxing in terms of technique, balance, conditioning? What is important in the sport for a fighter to know and do?
Well, a fighter, we all know we have to be in condition. We have to use technique, and there we have to do the things our managers or trainers tell us to do. We have to get up in the morning and do our road work. They know all these things, but it's for the trainers to get behind their fighters and make sure that they do those things and make sure that they're doing them the right way, the way how we want them to do it.
I'm going to mention some opponents of the over 100 professionals you fought. I'm going to mention some names, and I'd like you to comment about the fight, about what you thought about them, any comments you have about these fighters. We're going to go a bit chronologically.
How about you?
The first fighter who defeated you was named Randy Sandy, who had much more experience than you at the time. You fought, I believe it was St. Nick's.
Yes, and all cynics.
And Randy Sandy gave you your first loss.
Lost my first whipping.
What do you remember about that fight, and why was he able to defeat you?
Well, number one, I would say that it was my first defeat, and I was doing very well, until I get careless thinking I could just walk into him and knock him out like that.
Was he a good boxer?
He was a good boxer.
Then you fought Gaspar Ortega. Close fight the first time, and the second fight you were just devastating. You knocked out Ortega. What was the difference between that first and second fight, and what do you have to say about Gaspar Ortega?
The first fight I had with Gaspar Ortega, that was a lesson for me. I enjoyed the fight with him. I respected the man. The reason why I respected him was because he knew more about the sport than I did. And then, like I said, when I went home and my manager got me in the gym, he began to show me my rights and wrongs. I didn't look enough fight films or anything like that. I just listened to what he's telling me, and I tried to do what he told me to do. Okay, if I didn't do it, I know what was going to happen to me.
And you split two fights with Denny Moyer, a very active, popular fighter in the early 60s. Do you have any memories about Denny Moyer and the type of fighter he was?
Yeah, well, Danny was a good fighter. I beat Danny in New York. And then I was bold and brave enough to go back to his hometown, and he made it even. So, well, we have to do the third one, but when I don't know.
How do you think Denny would do today?
Oh, I really doesn't know. I know he will do good against somebody else, because he ain't going to do good against me, because I'm not going to fight him. I'm fighting nobody else for sure.
You also beat a very dangerous puncher named Florentino Fernandez. What was your strategy in the Florentino Fernandez fight?
Hit and run. Hit and run.
Did he ever connect with the left hook to you? Did you feel his power?
Yeah, I felt his power one time. He hit me a left hook under my chin. I felt his power. He felt mine too. Maybe it might not be as tough, but it was there.
You fought another Fernandez named Jorge Fernandez 3 times.
Oh, he was my size, so that was a good fight. Could move and do what I want to do, but I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to do because he was busy too.
And you must have learned from fighting him too, because you fought him twice, and then the third time for the title, in which fight you dominated him. And tell us a little about that third fight.
Well, the third fight, that fight was in Las Vegas, and that was a good fight. I hit him an uppercut. I think he said I hit him under his throat or something like that. Though. Wow. How can I hit him in the throat and he holding his belly?
In that fight, Fernandez could not continue because he claimed a low blow.
He claimed a low blow. Oh, boy.
And you continued to fight top fighters, never taking easy opponents. Isaac Logard. Remember Isaac Logard?
Yeah, Isaac and myself, we fought in Olsen Nicks.
And you were fighting Holly Mims. Do you remember anything about the Holly Mims fight?
Oh, gosh. Let me see. Clancy told me he wanted me to fight Holly Mims. I said, okay. I'll fight anybody you give me to fight. Tell me to fight. You're my manager. You're going to put me in there to get hurt. So I went in there with that in my mind. He's not going to put me in there with anybody got what he didn't, because it was a good fight with Mims and myself. I don't remember the fight really that good. I think that I win there, I lost or what. I won the fight, I was lucky. A little hard work, the old man made me look good.
And there was an up-and-coming fighter, a welterweight, who you defended your title against, named Jose Stable. He was beating everyone. A very busy fighter, and you devised a strategy to beat him, I think. How did you fight Jose Stable?
I boxed Jose. That fight was in the garden. I boxed Jose. It was a good night. I remember the night. That was a good fight. He's a good man too.
How did you nullify that left hook, that busy left hook that he had? How did you nullify that?
Every time he moved, the left hand was in his face. I forget the right hand that night. The left hand was in his face all night. Left hand, uppercuts, up.
Left hook to the body at all?
Left hook to the body. Forget the right hand. The right hand was.
I see.
That was pistol for the night. I didn't use it.
And eventually you outgrew the welterweight division and started challenging middleweights. And in 1966 you fought Dick Tiger for the middleweight championship. Describe your strategy against Tiger, and what's your opinion of Dick Tiger?
Well, it's like this. Dick Tiger and myself used to spar together all the time. When Clancy said to me that I was going to fight Dick Tiger, I said to him, "You're going to fight him yourself, not me." I did. And he went and he told Howard, and I told Howard the same thing too. You want to fight Tiger, you can fight him too. Because I never met the man before besides training with him in the gym. I know he can hit. I trained him up in Gleason's gym almost for about 2-3 months. I know he can hit, and every day I'm there getting the punches, and I knew I was going through. But when it came time to fight him, I said to Gil, "Okay, if this you say I'm fighting him, I'll fight him." So I went ahead and I did what he told me to do.
And what was that?
My strategy, box him all the time. I was never a puncher. I was a boxer. I could box all day, all night
But you dropped him.
by my lucky shots.
And then after defeating Tiger, you defended your title twice against Joey Archer.
That was fun.
Tell me, why was it fun? What was it like fighting
It
Archer?
was well, the reason why I say it was fun fighting Joey Archer is because when I sit back and talk about him myself, it's like two boxers trying to get at each other. And he's doing something and I'm doing something. He might do something to me this round, I come back the next round and do the same thing back to him. So like it was like a chess game. But Joey was either was a very good young man.
And then there was another middleweight came overseas to fight you, named Nino Benvenuti.
Yeah, they're always after me. When you tell Clancy I can't do, he's sure I can do.
And where do you put Benvenuti in the quality of opponents you fought, in terms of comparing him to the other fighters that you fought? Was Benvenuti a very good fighter, and why did you have so much difficulty with him?
Benvenuti was a very good fighter. He was very smart there. He knew what he was doing. But hey, the price was right, and I went for it. That was part of the game too. So,
Who was better, Benvenuti or Joey Archer?
I would say Benvenuti because he hits harder.
What about Benvenuti and Dick Tiger?
Well, I tell you the truth, Tiger didn't really hit me and hurt me or anything like that. But Benvenuti was a little sneaky, get in there and he'd do damage and run like hell. Excuse the French.
There was another tough welterweight named Stanley Kitten Hayward, who you fought towards the end of your career.
Oh, yeah, he's from
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. I fought him in the garden. He beat me. I went back to his hometown and I trained and I trained and I trained. And when I got down there, they said to him, that isn't the Griffith that you beat in New York. Because that's how good I whip his butt down there. And if he wanted more, you get more. I was a different person in his hometown.
Did you fight differently?
I fought different in his hometown than I did up here.
How did you fight differently? What did you do differently?
No, well, I just train like a dog and listen to what the man tell me to do instead of think I'm getting big get over my head, getting all big. And no, all I got to do is just listen to the man and everything is right.
And then you fought another Philadelphia fighter, very popular middleweight named Gypsy Joe Harris. What do you remember?
Another one.
What do you remember about that fight?
Oh, I like gypsies, my friend. Yeah. But they all, how can I put it? They all said that his eye was bad when he fought me. If the doctor gave him permission to fight, that means it's okay. If the doctor didn't give him permission to fight, I'll have to fight another opponent. So what do you mean? What are you trying to say? That I mess up the man? I know no Superman or no killer out there. I go in there, do my job. You the same thing they try to do to me is what I'm trying to do to them too. But I didn't know that he was hurt with eye or anything like that. So I don't know what they're talking about.
What about Benny Briscoe? You won and you lost to him. You won and drew with Benny Briscoe. Do you remember those fights?
Yeah, I remember those fights. Good fights. Benny was a good man. Benny Briscoe, my buddy. That's life.
Were you faster than him?
Yeah, I was.
Was he as hard a puncher as Dick Tiger?
No. Benny could have punched, but he never get a chance to really land a good punch on me.
Where do you put him compared to Monzon or Benvenuti or some of the other middleweights?
No, he's not in those class.
Not in that class.
For me, he's not in those class with those guys. He was flashy and everything, but he wasn't in the class of punching with those guys.
And Emile, this is a sensitive topic. I wanted to ask you, you won the title from Benny Paret.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a very good fighter. And then, of course, he beat you, and then you beat him in the fight in March '62.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, he passed away. After that fight, did you ever think of quitting boxing?
Yes. I only come back to see if what they were saying that I couldn't come back again to do it.
There are people who say that your style changed after that Paret fight, that you became less of an intense puncher in the sense that you stopped looking to knock out people with the right hand. You would tend not to hurt people. You were satisfied to win and do what you had to do to win. And there was
True. That's true. I didn't have that instinct, fighter instinct in me anymore. I just went in the ring, just do what I got to do to win the fight, and that's it.
So the result of that fight did change your style.
It did change my style. When I train for a fight, I train for a fight. Because I know when I go in there, or when you go in there, it's either you or me. It's doggy dog, catty cat. What I'm saying is, if you hit me in the ring in there, we got the gloves on, big glove, and small glove, whatever glove. You hit me, I hit you. I'm gonna try to hit you harder because make you pay.
But outside of the ring, Emile, you were friendly with some of your opponents. Nino Benvenuti, as I understand, you became very friendly with. Tell us how that developed.
My friend, I had no choice with that, I should say. He sent for me to Italy, and the first time one day, he had a little boy, and he sent for me in Italy. I went there. It was a big crowd of people. Everybody's happy to see me and everything. Now, time for me to come home. He says to me, I'm going to be the godfather for his son. I said, what? So not me. You're crazy. He said, no, but I don't run my life. You're going to be godfather for my son. I said, no, I'm going home. He said, if you don't be godfather, I'm not putting you on the plane. I'm serious. So I said, okay. We got serious, and I said, okay, I'll be godfather. And I was happy to be godfather for his son. And today, his son is about, 23 or something like that. His son my godson is in the service, everything else. He's a good kid. And every time I go there, every time he sends for me, he makes sure that his son is there, that I can see my godchild. He's a very nice man.
Emile, you once said that you never had a really tough fight. You never were really beaten up in a fight in the ring. Is that true, that you never took a beating in the ring?
Nobody beat me up in the ring. No.
No.
If anybody beat me up in the ring, that Irishman would say to me, you quit. I said, okay. I said, whenever you say I quit, I quit.
So you were told to quit after you lost to Alan Minter.
Yes, he told me to quit, or else I would continue.
Did you want to continue?
I wanted to continue, and he said, nope, you quit. I said, okay, that's the deal we made. That's the deal.
What did you think of Alan Minter as a fighter?
Alan Minter is a very good fighter. Like I would say, maybe it was one of those nights I got the best of him.
Where do you rank Alan Minter as compared to Carlos Monzon, Nino Benvenuti, Joey Archer, and Dick Tiger?
He's up with heavyweights. He's up against heavyweights.
You think? But how do you think he would have done against
Oh no,
Monzon?
Oh gosh, I
Hard to say.
yes,
Okay, but he was a good fighter in your
he
opinion.
was a good fighter in my eyes. Yes.
Do you think the old-time fighters of your era were better than today's fighters?
I won't say that, but I'd say if we had a chance, we'd give them a good fight. We'd kick most of them butt today.
Why? Because you had more experience?
You know, not more experience, because we work harder. We work harder in there. When we get in there, we don't play. We mean business.
You think today's fighters are not serious?
No comment. Forgive me.
You train fighters, though, today, don't you? You've trained some fighters.
The ones that I train, they work.
How do you train a fighter? What do you teach a fighter the first thing? What do you begin when you get a fighter who's raw? What do you teach him? Tell me how you teach a fighter.
Well, the first thing I teach is first is the footwork. Then it's the way how to use your hands in there. It's not trying to knock the guy out with it. It's just trying to keep him away from you. Use your jab, and then you throw the right hand. When you feel it, it tells you when I want to go, when they kick out by itself. But if you don't concentrate on that,
You mentioned footwork. Is that important in boxing?
of course, without footworks and movements, you ain't got nothing. You have to get in the morning time, do your road work. You do about like no, everybody gonna say like me, because hey, I used to run like I'm crazy anyway. You run about 2 miles, 3 miles. I have even run for 12 miles.
You've run for 12 miles?
I have run for 12 miles.
For certain fights? Why?
For the championship fight, I have run 12 miles. Not in one, I mean one day, and the next day I run again. I've run for about 4 days, and then the 5th day I will cut myself down.
You run 5 days for 12 miles each
Yeah.
day?
And then I cut myself down. Sunday I rest. Get up Monday, same thing again.
So describe a typical day in training camp, road work, how many rounds would you spar? Describe a typical day.
Well, for me, it's everybody have their own way of training. For me, let me see. I will box 4 rounds. Okay. Yeah, boxing is good. I get up in the morning. I have to reverse myself. I get up in the morning. Well, Clancy doesn't know how many miles I'm running because I didn't tell him. He asked me, I lied to him. I was supposed to run 5, and I running 12, but he doesn't know. No problem, but I know what I'm doing. So I get up in the morning, do my road work, come home, have my shower, have my eggs, go to the gym for 3 o'clock. Be there at 3 o'clock, I box about 4 rounds. Hit the heavy bag. 3 rounds or 4 rounds, all depends on what you want me to do. Skip about 4 rounds. Oh, too hard to remember now.
Did you ever study films of the fighters you were going to box to figure out how to beat them?
Yes. I studied after I film. Let me see who was I with. Who was I with? Gosh, I remember the fighter.
Paret?
Yes. Mm.
Was that the only fighter whose films you studied?
So far, I think, yes, that was the only film that I really had studied, you know. Because I didn't like the what went on and everything else. That fight was like a grudge fight or something like that, I could say.
Did you have a favorite combination that you used? A favorite type of combination punch?
No special one really. But when I get my opponent against the rope, I like my body punching.
Why was body punching so important?
The Irishman teach me how to body punch. The Irishman taught me how to body punch.
Which Irishman?
Gil Clancy. And every time I get in the rope, if I don't do it, when I go back to the corner, I get smacked. That's true. He's
Was a strict trainer?
very strict, yes. Very strict. That's why you see, when I train the young men out there, I don't say I am like Gil, but I try to do the things that he used to teach me to do. I try to teach it to those other guys that I learned from him. And he didn't used to play with me. I love the Irishman. The Irishman and the other Italian. Clancy, Howard. Those two gentlemen are my pops.
Who?
Clancy and Howard. We like this. We are family. Don't care what they say. Don't care what they do. They can't keep up the power.
Even today?
Even today. Today's like I haven't seen Gail or Howard in a while. If I see them out there in the street, it will be like we just start all over again.
One of your last fights in the Garden was against Vito Antuofermo.
Oh gosh.
Tell me what happened in that fight, and what do you think of Vito Antuofermo as a fighter?
Number one, he won the fight. Number two, he's a good fighter.
Do you think he's as good as Monzon?
Don't compare somebody who's up there to the moon and you're on the ground. No, no.
So you're saying Antuofermo isn't in Monzon's class?
No, I'm saying that he's gay.
So what do you mean?
Well, like person. In our world, Monzon is much taller, everything than Vito. So if he's up there and you're here, how he got the advantage? His arms are. He have the advantage over the young man. But if he was like I said, we was him and myself, or Vito and myself were at the same level, so he beat me.
Do you think, what would have happened in a fight with Vito Antuofermo and Dick Tiger? If you don't know, you don't.
Let me see. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's keep him out of trouble.
You've seen the way boxing has changed in the past years since you've retired, in the past 20 years. You see all these ratings organizations. You see we have now not just 8 or 10 weight classes. We now have 17 weight classes, and we have 6 champions for each division. So you have close to 100 world champions. What do you see as this situation in boxing? What do you think about the situation in boxing today?
Uh, well, I want to tell you the truth. That one I really don't know. I can't answer that one, but I tell you, not being funny, but the commissioner, he could give you a good answer for that.
You think there are too many champions in boxing today?
I think so. I think it should be the same, same like with the beginning, one champion. We got too much champions in the same divisions, and nah, I don't know.
Do you think boxers should fight with head guards in the ring?
Nah, that won't be a fight then.
Would you let your son box if your son was younger and he decided to want to box? What would you let him? What would you say to him?
I'll tell you the truth, I'll be the first one to put him in there. Why? Because I was there, and I know if he sees me going to the gym every day, he will want to be there. Not be in the gym either, he wants to be in the ring and box too. And I wouldn't stop him, or I would encourage him to box. Boxing is my life. I love the sport. I hate that when people start trying to knock boxing. Okay, if it wasn't for boxing, I would have never been here. But I'm been in the places where I am today. And I thank the man above for that. Mostly I thank the lady upstairs, but hey, that's another story.
So you have no regrets about...
No.
How was your life today, Emile?
Pretty good, thank you.
How's your health?
No complaint.
If you could change anything in your career as you look back, a move you would have made differently, something different, is there anything you might have changed? Does that mean you would have held on to your money?
That's right.
So it wasn't that you weren't making money during your career,
No.
you didn't hold on to it.
I didn't hold on to it.
Why not?
At the time, I had too many mouths to feed. Matter of fact, I still do.
Would you like to fight today?
The Irishman won't let me.
Let's say you were 30 years younger.
I would have been right there. Hey, I love boxing. Now I love boxing. Baseball,
That was your first love.
that was my first love. But now I tried baseball. I like it. I tried boxing. I fell in love with it. Hey. Yes, they're good and bad. There ain't nothing I did in the ring that someone before me didn't do. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever happened to me in the ring, I didn't do it that somebody else didn't do ahead of me. So I don't know why they're making all this big Rickamaboom or Shabang Boom, what you call it, about me. And I know the only reason why all these things happen was because of these names that these people call people that they ain't got respect for people. If they got respect for you, it's all right. You don't have respect, man. You do it too if you have to.
Are you talking about the way the athletes are today?
That too.
Too much trash talk?
Yeah, everybody talking that game. Yeah, like back in those, I wasn't in the old days because, hey, this is a different era.
Speaking of the old days, were there any fighters that you admired? Lewis, Robinson, Armstrong, any fighters?
I used to run with Mr. Robinson around Central Park every morning. Not every morning, I mean, every other day when I meet him and he tell me what time he can be there. Cause most of the time, sometimes he get there early and he take off and he go and then he go home. But I used to do my work with him. And quite a few other young men around the park I used to run with.
Do you remember admiring any fighters, either when you were fighting? Did you look up to any fighters and their style or anything like that?
Yeah, before I was fighting, I used to try to fight a little bit like Floyd Patterson. I used to have the peak in front hair, everything else, his hairstyle, everything else. I like the way he moved with the peekaboo and all that. Yeah, I used to try to fight like him. Then I used to, when I was getting ready for Golden Glove fight, I used to look at Sugar Ray Robinson on TV. I would be up about 11 o'clock at night until about 1 in the evening time, looking at the fight films. Then I get up in the morning time and I run. Hey, I love the sport.
What do you think of Oscar de la Hoya?
Oscar De La Hoya. Hey, I know Oscar De La Hoya. He's a good fighter. I want to say good fighter, not he's he's a doggone good fighter. He's a good boxer. He can punch. Hey.
How would you have done against him?
But can't say I would have beat him. Can't say I would have lose. My days are over. But I can still hold my own. If I have to, I still respect the young man though.
What do you think of Roy Jones?
Roy Jones, yes, I hold my own with against him too. Yes.
Would you like to have fought him?
Oh, I won't say yes, I won't say no, but if you can pay me good, I'll fight him.
How did you react to Mike Tyson, the incident with Mike Tyson? What do you think of Mike Tyson?
I don't care what nobody say. Mike Tyson is my fighter. He's my buddy. He's my friend. But I think he was wrong for biting Holyfield on his ear. I think he was wrong for doing that. Somebody had a time to do that. He ain't got the sense to do that. It's bad enough to do. It's bad enough trying to get him think for himself, and then you think you can go and bite somebody ear like that. No, but he did it. But hey, I really didn't like that. Yeah, I felt bad, teacher. I felt bad for Holyfield, and I still feel bad, but when I talk about it. But the most person really felt real bad for is Tyson, because now they're trying to disqualify him from here, there, and fighting here and fighting there. That don't make sense, man.
What do you think of Holyfield as a fighter?
Holyfield is a very good young man. Very good young man. I like him. He's a good champion.
If a young man came to you and wanted to be a professional fighter, what would you say to a young man? What advice would you give him to do?
First of all, if he wants to be a professional fighter, right? First, you have to show me that he can fight, and then he go in the Golden Gloves, and then from the Golden Glove, all depending on how many fights he have, he go professional, and then from professional, then from professional, God forbid, whatever he's doing good and he did good or whatever, and he wants to retire, it's up to him. But I know when he retired, I would like to see him retire with a couple of dollars in his pocket, so he can enjoy himself.
Do you think that fighters should have a pension plan?
That's a good idea. Everybody having it, why can't we have it? Everyone else is having it and getting it, why can't we have it? But this is the rule today, you know. They say, when we play, you play, you pay.
Did you play too much?
Well, you could say that.
But you have no regrets?
I have no regrets. When I was fighting, I tell you, and a lot of people won't believe this, when I was fighting, they're all talking about, they see me now because I'm out here in the streets and in the ballpark, and not in the ballpark, in the bar, and all. Yeah, I'm in the bar, I have my little beer, I have a little drink here, a little. But I know when to stop. I don't know all key or nothing like this. It's too bad that those can't see to help themselves when they seem to be drifting away. It's hard.
Tell me how you got started in boxing. How did it all begin?
It started with Howard and myself in the gym, in the job one day. I was in a hat factory, and one day I actually was hot in the place, and I asked how if I could remove my shirt because it was hot. He said, "Yes, go ahead." So I took it off, and he started peeking around the corners at me and peeking in the corners with me. And I said, "Am I doing something wrong?" He said, "No." So he said, "Don't worry, everything is okay." So he peeked again and he peeked again. So that's what was going on for about a week. And finally he decided to tell me why he's picking at me. He said to me, "Do you weightlift?" I said, "No." He said, "Never did." He said, "Why are you built like that?" I said, "I don't know. My father made me built like that." So he said, "Well, how you built like that now?" I said, "I don't know, sir." He said, "Okay, forget it." They come back to another week, and he said, "Did you ever box before?" I said, "No, but I like to play baseball." Throw him up. So he said, "Okay, you never boxed before? Okay." I said to him, "Did you ever box?" He said, "In the Golden Gloves, in the Army." I said, "Oh, okay, that's good." I said, "But I never boxed before." He said, "How do you like it?" I said, "I like baseball better." And he keep talking to me, I went home to my mother. And I told my mother that my boss wanted to make me a fighter, but he's being slick about it. He won't tell me. He just throw hints. So she said, "I'm not signing the papers for you to be in a fighter, you know." Okay. So no problem then. So finally, he gave me the paper to sign for the gloves. And I think he signed it. And I took to my mother to sign. And it took about almost a week. It took her to almost sign the paper. I said, "Mommy, come on." Every day I said, "Mommy, come on, we gotta sign this thing and send it back in to the place so he can get ready to do it." But she was slick. God bless her. She didn't want me to fight, but she didn't tell me that. But she didn't want me to fight. So when she did sign the paper, she said to me when she finished, "Now you take it to the man and tell him I want to talk to him. He wants you to be a fighter." I said, "I don't know." She was, "See, I said, okay, that's all right. He wants you to be a fighter? I want to talk to him." I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll tell him you want to talk to him." I tell him, and I do whatever the two of them did. That's their business. They went crazy. But she didn't want me to fight. And I didn't want to fight. See?
But he talked you into it. You went to the gloves, and what happened?
Went to glove. I lost the first year. In the second year, 58, I won in the finals. And then after that, I turned professional. And then on April 1st was my first fight. Get lucky I won it. Keep going.
How many fights did it take before you felt you were a confident professional?
Oh gosh, I really don't remember. What made me retire also, that my shoulder wasn't working too good, and that helped me to retire fast. Not that I wanted to, but I felt that I just had to.
You were almost 40 years old.
Yeah. That too was helping me. A man named Father Time said, "Champion, why you go so far now?" I said to myself, "I gotta think about this." But I didn't want to retire. I figured if Ashimo could do it, I could do it.
Should fighters be made to retire? A lot of them keep fighting too long.
I think the commissioners should put what do you call it? Set a special time or the year or whatever for us to retire really, because some of us don't want to quit. And why things are bad now, why make it worse than what it is? You understand me? So I think they should make a time for them to retire. Would have to know this change something? This time I give him a right answer. I think.
Okay, champ. I can't think of anything else.
Oh, we covered the whole day.
I think so.
Almost the whole day.
What you are about to see are scenarios that play out far too often in the ring. Too many boxers are suffering unnecessary brain trauma due to inadequate safety protocols and poorly trained referees, doctors, and boxing commission officials.
At the right time, there it is. You put yourself in for the uppercut.
A key element in deciding when to stop a fight is to observe and understand the boxer's body language. Watch as this boxer staggers back, trying to keep his balance. He is obviously out on his feet and unable to defend himself. Nevertheless, the referee then asks the fighter to walk to me. Not surprisingly, the fighter cannot comply. The defenseless fighter is quickly hit with 4 more punches and knocked down again. As he staggers up at the count of 6, the referee finally stops the fight. But the outcome was obvious after the first knockdown. Exposing this boxer to further head trauma was both unnecessary and dangerous.
Better be just working away, probing away with that jab. Oh, Anthony Yard caught! Anthony Yard caught! Anthony Yard down! A thunderous punch from Better Beard. Yard having to take the count. Can he beat the count? Anthony Yard trying to drag himself back to his feet.
After the knockdown, the fighter turns his back on the referee and walks to his corner. Body language that indicates he is both hurt and confused. The fighter's reluctance or inability to understand the referee's hand gesture, motioning for him to take a few steps, was reason enough to stop the fight. But the referee is adamant in getting him to move, so he repeats the gesture several times until the dazed boxer begins to move. The result was inevitable. It should be noted the referee was willing to let it continue, even though the fighter appeared defenseless. Fortunately, the fighter's cornerman climbed onto the ring apron and signaled the referee to stop the fight, thus saving him from further punishment.
There's a big left-hander right behind it. Another combination. Down goes Emile.
The fighter's body language shows that he is clearly hurt, and a stoppage at this point is reasonable. But the referee, reluctant to stop the fight, wants further confirmation. So he asks the fighter, "Are you all right? Do you want to continue?" Again, most fighters will answer yes, even those who secretly are hoping the referee will stop it. The fight should have been stopped at this point, but was not.
He's going to let it go on. Hemphill is done. Not going to take much.
Oh!
That's it. Dynamite. It's dynamite in Bethlehem.
Over the past 10 years, watching fights, I noticed a change. Fights, many times, were not being stopped in time. I felt something had to be done to change this current culture, which was affecting the safety and health of the prize fighters who were taking part in these bouts. So, over the past several years, I've been interviewing referees, doctors, watching fights, doing my own research, and what I've come up with is what I think is a book that contains valuable proposals that can make boxing safer and basically make a dangerous sport somewhat less dangerous and perhaps save some lives. And mitigate the progressive and permanent brain damage suffered by the vast majority of fighters who survive their careers. Virtually all of the fatalities that have taken place in boxing, at least 60% or more, were avoidable. And that's why I wrote this book.